Today we're going to make a stool out of walnut and pine. I started by sketching out the shape of the seat. I used a jigsaw to cut off about half of the wood, and then I switched to a handsaw, mostly because it was more satisfying. I chiseled off some of the excess and then used a file to get rid of any remaining wood around the edges. Since this was rough cut wood and I didn't have a planer, I had to sand down a lot to get a nice smooth finish. Next, I made a guide by drilling a hole in a scrap 2x4. I'm going to use this to help me line up the leg holes. I drilled a pilot hole and then switched to the spade bit to drill the final hole. In addition to the jig I made, that metal angle in my left hand is there to help me line up the drill. I cut notches in the legs that are eventually going to receive wedges of walnut. Then I glued everything up and put the legs in. Here I'm gluing and then hammering in the wedges so that the tension they make will help to strengthen the joint. I had to use scrap walnut for this because I didn't have any extra, and I'm also clearly not an expert since a bunch of these broke off, but in the end it really turned out nice. I used my pull saw to trim the legs flush to the seat. Next, I measured the legs and cut them off with the pull saw. This stool is for my son, who's only 1 year old, and I realized the legs were way too long, so I trimmed them off again. Finally, I applied 3 coats of minwax polyacrylic. And that was it. Honestly, I'm incredibly happy with how this turned out. I'm not an expert and I kind of just bumbled my way through this. All of the legs are not perfect because my bit wiggled around a bunch when I was trying to drill the holes, but in the end it just really adds to the character of the stool. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Also, check out some of my other videos, and as always, thanks for watching.